Paris. Morning light spills across sculpted stone, and the city awakens with the quiet hum of fashion's heartbeat. Within its timeless rhythm, one house stands apart, defined by curiosity, by craft, by contradiction. Loewe, founded in Madrid, reborn in Paris, and reimagined by Jonathan Anderson. Loewe has become one of fashion's most intelligent storytellers, where the avant-garde meets the artisanal, and where design itself becomes an act of philosophy. The Spring/Summer 2026 women's collection is not just a show. It is a study in perception, form, and emotion, a dialogue between what is seen and what is felt. The venue is a modern sanctuary, a large, luminous space designed with sculptural precision. White walls curve like paper. Beams of sunlight filter through translucent screens. The set feels weightless, an abstract canvas waiting to be touched by motion. As the audience settles, the room becomes still. And then, silence breaks. The first model steps forward, and everything changes. She wears an asymmetrical dress, sculpted from pale silk that drapes like liquid light. The silhouette is pure Loewe, abstract yet intimate, fluid yet architectural. Jonathan Anderson once said that design should make you look twice. That philosophy defines this collection. Each piece appears simple from afar, but the closer you look, the more complex it becomes. Drapery folds where you expect structure. Structure appears where softness should be. The familiar is made unfamiliar. The color story begins softly, shades of ivory, sand, and porcelain. Then, as the collection unfolds, tones shift into tender greens, faded pinks, and cool sky blues. There's warmth, but it's delicate, like sunlight filtered through glass. Textures emerge as the true language of the show. Silk crepe contrasts with rough linen. Satin rubs against unfinished cotton. Fragments of leather are patchworked into translucent fabrics. This season, Loewe explores duality between tension and ease, past and present, the handmade and the futuristic. Each garment carries the fingerprint of craftsmanship, yet silhouette feels almost digital, a balance only Loewe could master. The models walk with calm confidence. Their movements are slow, deliberate, almost sculptural. Hair is sleek and parted cleanly. Makeup is pure and dewy, with luminous skin. It is not about embellishment. It is about essence. Accessories, as always, are central to Loewe's universe. The brand's language of leather becomes poetry. The puzzle bag, deconstructed and reimagined, appears in translucent materials, ghostly, futuristic, and irresistible. The flamenco clutch, relaxed and organic, returns in pastel suede, knotted with architectural precision. A new form emerges, a rigid, minimalist tote, sharp-edged and weightless, suspended from thin sculptural handles. The garments begin to evolve. Shirts are elongated into dresses, dresses cut into halves and rejoined in asymmetry. Trousers billow and contract with each step, responding to the movement of air. It feels like watching fabric breathe. The middle section of the collection introduces play, a quality Anderson brings to Loewe like no other. Unexpected shapes appear, petal-like collars, sleeves that twist midair, skirts that seem to hover without weight. It's surrealism reinterpreted through modern craftsmanship. The materials themselves tell a story of innovation. Fine wool mixed with silk chiffon, denim treated to mimic porcelain glaze, leather so soft it folds like paper. Loewe has always blurred the boundary between art and fashion. In Spring/Summer 2026, that conversation continues, with subtle nods to sculpture, architecture, and contemporary art. Each silhouette could exist in a gallery, yet remains utterly wearable. In the audience, critics lean forward, notebooks open. They sense it. This is not about nostalgia or trend. It's about rethinking what fashion can be, not decoration, but language. Then comes a moment of silence. A model appears wearing a sculpted leather tunic that catches light like bronze. Her presence fills the space, strength and fragility in perfect equilibrium. This, more than anything, defines Loewe's vision, the coexistence of contrasts. Color now deepens, rust, indigo, ochre, deep green. The atmosphere shifts from daylight to dusk. Each look feels like a transformation, a meditation on change. The tailoring sharpens. Jackets with curved seams and exaggerated shoulders balance perfectly with soft skirts. Tops are suspended from fine metallic threads. Dresses close with asymmetric lacing, hand-tied like calligraphy strokes. In this collection, Jonathan Anderson once again proves that minimalism can be emotional. That restraint, when executed with intelligence, becomes the most radical statement. Accessories evolve alongside the garments. Large sculptural earrings, rings cast from irregular shapes, shoes that blur the line between sandals and sculpture. Every detail feels considered, yet spontaneous, as if shaped by intuition. The show builds toward its final movement. The light dims, golden tones fill the space. The last few looks are ethereal, flowing silk gowns and soft metallic hues, like reflections of the setting sun. A final model steps out in a long white dress, cut with gravity-defying precision. The garment moves as though it has a will of its own, breathing, floating, living. Jonathan Anderson appears briefly. He walks with quiet humility, nodding to his team, then exits as calmly as he arrived. The audience remains for a moment, absorbing what they've just witnessed. It wasn't spectacle, it was meditation. A conversation between tradition and tomorrow. Voiceover continues. Loewe's Spring, Summer 2026 Women's Collection is not about trend, but transformation. It is about the power of craftsmanship to speak in new languages, to reinterpret what elegance means in a modern world. In an era obsessed with immediacy, Loewe slows us down. It reminds us that fashion can still be thoughtful, tactile, deeply human. Every fold, every stitch, every silence carries intention. This is not clothing made to be consumed. It is clothing made to be contemplated. From the ateliers of Spain to the runways of Paris, Loewe continues to craft a world where intellect meets emotion, where the hand of the artisan meets the mind of the artist. The Spring, Summer 2026 collection stands as a quiet manifesto that the future of luxury is not louder, but deeper. Not faster, but truer. And as Paris breathes once again with creativity and calm, Loewe reminds us why fashion still matters. Because in every piece, in every moment, lies the beauty of thinking, feeling, and being.